Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am doing a foundation review as well as a review on a new primer that just came out from Kevyn Aucoin, and we'll get into all the details here shortly. But I wanted to do something new on my channel. So what I want to do is a series, and basically it's going to be Foundation Friday. So every Friday I plan to upload a video for you guys where I review a foundation and do a demo, wear test, and all the details, whether it's a new foundation or an older foundation that I absolutely love. I have a love for foundations. I mean, honestly, I think it stems from because I have insecurities about my skin. I have oily skin, acne-prone skin, acne scarring, large pores, so I'm always searching for that perfect foundation. And then my skin also changes a lot. I think a lot to do with like my acne medications. So I love testing out new foundations and finding that perfect one. So I plan to do Foundation Friday every week for you guys. So this is going to be the first of this series. And today I am doing a review on the Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancer, as well as the Sensual Skin Primer by Kevyn Aucoin that just came out. Kevyn Aucoin was actually nice enough to send me this package. I was like dying when they emailed me, so I was so excited because I have actually wanting to try the Sensual Skin Enhancer for the longest time, and I don't know, I just hadn't got around to purchasing it. And then I had also seen this primer that just came out. I actually saw, I think Jaclyn Hill was using it in one of her videos, so I was super curious about this primer. So when they sent me this stuff, I was like so excited. They also sent me a foundation brush and a concealer brush, and so I'll give you guys my thoughts and opinion on all of these products. But let's just go ahead and jump into the details first. So I'm going to start with the actual Sensual Skin Enhancer. This is what it looks like here. It comes like in a little pot. And if you haven't heard of this, which I'm sure you have because it's been all over social media for many years, this product comes with, let's see how much it comes with, 0.63 ounces. It comes in 16 different shades, and I'm going to pull this up on the Sephora website here. Let me see how much this retails for. It's $48. And let me give you guys a little bit about the claims of this foundation. Basically, it says that it's a waterproof makeup enhancer for the face that provides sheer and complete coverage and hydrates the skin. So really, it's an all-in-one formula. So you can mix this with primers, moisturizers, illuminators, whatever product you want, and you can sheer it out as much as you want, or you can build it all the way up to full coverage and really customize it for your own preference, which I think is amazing. I don't think there are many products like this on the market. They can be used as a concealer, a highlighter, you can use it to contour depending on what shade you buy. It says that it's infused with jojoba and honey. It also claims that it's sweat-proof, transfer resistant, and is formulated for long wear. So Kevyn Aucoin sent me the shade SX09, and actually this is too peach for my skin tone. I can make it work, but you can tell it's a little off. So what I did is I picked up a sample from Camera Ready Cosmetics in the shade SX10, and this actually, what I'm wearing today, it actually matched perfect. And they give you a little sample pot. You can purchase it for $4.99, and I thought that was super cool because you can't get samples of these at my Sephora because they don't carry this product in store. So I wanted to try the sample size first before I actually went out and bought my shade, and I'm definitely going to be picking this up. I will let you guys kind of know my thoughts and everything once we get into the demo. But let's get into a little bit of details about the primer. So basically you get 1 fluid ounce with the primer. This is what the packaging looks like here. It's super chic, super gorgeous. It actually looks like a moisturizer packaging. Basically what you do here is you lift up the lid and you press down on the top part of the packaging, and then it releases the primer from the center. There's a little hole in the center. And what Kevyn Aucoin says is that this was formulated to work specifically with the Sensual Skin Enhancer. And they give you this little, like, basically a mixing plate. So you can mix in the foundation with the primer, and you can just like, basically a little palette you get on top, mix in, you create your perfect coverage or, you know, desired coverage that you want, and then you can apply it directly from here. I will also show this to you guys in the demo. So the primer retails for $52, and I think that definitely is a little on the pricey side, but obviously this is a high-end product, and you get 1 fluid ounce in the packaging, which I think is a great amount of product. And I'll get into my thoughts and opinion about this product here shortly and let you know if I think that it's worth the price. But let me give you guys a little bit about the claims, what it says that it's supposed to do, and this is off the Sephora website as well. Basically, it says that it's a lightweight hydrating primer that is specifically formulated to blend with the Sensual Skin Enhancer. It says that it's a hydrating formula that helps to perfect and minimize pores while also protecting the skin from environmental pollutants and creating a smooth canvas for your foundation. So to give you guys my thoughts on this primer, I definitely agree. I think it's totally a lightweight primer. It actually feels like a moisturizer when you're applying it to your skin. It's not heavy, it's not sticky, and it blends or like sinks into the skin right away, and it makes my skin feel so smooth, so hydrated, and like supple. It doesn't have any scent to it. It hasn't irritated my skin. It doesn't make my skin feel oily or greasy, especially because I do have oily skin. I will say that it does minimize my pores, but I would say that it doesn't work as well as, say, a pore minimizing primer, which is obviously formulated specifically for that. But overall, I think it works pretty well at minimizing my pores. I definitely think that it prolongs the wear of my makeup time. I have worn this all day to work, and I work 10-hour shifts, so I've worn this for like a good 12 hours plus, with foundations that I'm very familiar with, that I wear all the time, and I will say that it definitely prolonged the wear of my makeup time. And honestly, with my oily skin, I feel like it did help to keep my oils at bay a little bit. More so than obviously if I wasn't using the primer, but I would say that still a mattifying primer might do a little bit better job at keeping my oils at bay, especially in my T-zone. But overall, I think this primer is amazing. I think that it's a very universal primer, and I absolutely love it because when you put it on the skin, it feels like it just sinks into the skin. Like you can't feel it sitting on top of the skin. I think people with normal to dry skin will adore this primer. So the way that I found that this works best for me is to apply this all over my face, focusing mostly on the perimeter of my face, and then for my T-zone, what I do is I'll go in either with a pore minimizing or a mattifying primer, either on top or use them kind of separately. But I found that that works best for me, but I absolutely love this all over the rest of my face. I feel like it just gives me an amazing, like flawless foundation application. And I do briefly want to touch on this foundation brush that they sent me. This is the angled foundation brush here, and as you can see, it definitely has a slight angle to it. I apologize, it is dirty as I did just use this. But I wanted to talk about this brush because it is by far, hands down, the best foundation brush I have ever used. Honestly, I'm not a huge foundation brush fan to begin with. I usually like to apply my makeup with a beauty blender just because I do have some texture, and at times I can get dry patches from like my acne medications, and so usually I like to blend my foundation in with a beauty blender just to help minimize any texture, minimize any dry patches. Whereas with a brush, sometimes I feel like you can lift like your dry patches and really enhance them. So I'm not a huge foundation brush fan to begin with. But I gave this brush a try just because it felt so luxurious and soft, and honestly, like, I am obsessed with this brush. I've never tried like such a dense brush before, and the bristles are extremely soft. I honestly don't have any foundation brushes that compare to this. I feel like it just makes my foundation go on so smoothly, and I think because it's so dense, you really don't have to like work in like as much of like circular motions. Like you can kind of just like pat it into the skin and lightly drag it over the skin, and I feel like it doesn't interrupt any dry patches that I might have just because it is so dense and so soft. So honestly, I am obsessed with this foundation brush. It is very pricey. I believe, let me see, yes, it retails for $68. So if you're in the market for an amazing foundation brush, I definitely recommend this. Yes, it is on the pricey side, but if you're willing to splurge, for a high-end, I think amazing foundation brush, I highly recommend this. Alright guys, so I'm going to go in with the Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin Primer, and I'm only going to take it to half of my face and apply it directly. For the other half, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix the Sensual Skin Enhancer with the primer and apply that to the other half of my face and kind of compare the two and see which I prefer. So I'm going to prime this half of my face. And it feels like a moisturizer. It's very creamy. It's like soaks into the skin pretty nicely. It's not like sticky or thick by any means. It has the consistency of like a moisturizer or lotion. So I'm just rubbing this into my skin. Aucoin concealer brush, and I'm gonna take some more of the product to like my problematic areas where I have some dark pigmentation and scarring, and see if I can just build up the coverage. So this is how the product looks on half of my face. I feel like it covered up everything pretty nicely. As you can see, it covered up all of my acne scarring. It looks pretty nice on the skin. My pores actually look pretty minimized considering that I didn't use a pore minimizing primer, which is something that I always use in my T-zone because I do get larger pores. It has like a nice, I don't even know, it's like almost like a satin finish. Maybe even like to demi matte. I mean, you can still see like there's like still a little bit of glow in my skin, but I feel like it does look a little bit matte, but it's not like a flat matte. I actually really love the finish, especially because I have oily skin. I feel like the color match is actually pretty nice. So I'm curious to see, let's do the other half of my face, and I'm actually going to mix in the Sensual Skin Enhancer with the primer because it is formulated to where you can mix it in with various things. You can mix it in with a moisturizer, you can mix it in with a primer, or if you have like drier skin, you can do like an illuminating primer or even like a liquid illuminator itself. So this product is very versatile, so I'm curious to see, you know, by mixing the product on this half of my face versus, you know, priming first off and then doing the foundation on top to see which side I prefer. So let's try this side. Obviously this side of my face is not as bad as the other side. I don't have as much pigmentation or scarring. So I'm going to push this down and do one pump of the primer, and I'm going to take a little bit of the actual foundation and mix it on top here. I believe this is why the packaging was made this way, so you can actually mix it. You have kind of like a little pan to mix your, basically your little concoction. So I'm going to take a little bit of that foundation on the concealer brush and mix it all together. So as you can see, I mixed it on top of the primer right here. I probably made a bigger mess than I should have, but I just mixed it around with my little concealer brush, and now I'm going to apply this to my face directly with my brush, and let's see how this application does. I'm also going to use what's left over on this little concealer brush just so I don't waste any product. So this is what this half of my face looks like. Honestly, I think I like mixing the primer with the actual foundation. It just went on a lot more smooth. I feel like it just looks smoother on this side. This side looks a little more heavy and like it's kind of sitting on top of my skin and not pressed into the skin as much. I feel like my pores look a little bit more minimized on this side. But honestly, I kind of liked the application on my nose a little bit better by doing them separate. So putting the primer on first and then doing the foundation after, just because my nose is so oily and I have such a hard time applying foundation to my nose. I think because it is so oily and because I have larger pores. So I mean, honestly, applying like the primer first and then the foundation after on my nose might be better and actually help to keep my oils at bay and give me more coverage, because my foundation always seems to rub off in my nose area. But I think this side of my face looks absolutely flawless. Like, it covered everything. It seemed like the foundation actually went a longer way by mixing it with the primer as well, because I like literally took probably about like two, maybe like the size of like a rice or two maybe, and mixed it in with the pump of the primer, and I still even have a little bit of product left on here, and that was enough to do half of my face. So basically this is what the final application looks like. I've done all of my makeup. I finished with my concealer, bronzer, blush, highlight, the whole works. Basically, I mean, my under eye concealer blended out seamlessly, didn't have any problems with blending over the foundation. Same thing with my bronzer. I did lightly set the foundation with some translucent powder just because I do have oily skin, and I set every foundation just because it kind of helps to keep my oils at bay. So I did lightly set it, but my bronzer, my blush, my highlight, everything blended over the foundation seamlessly without any issues whatsoever. I honestly say I feel like this foundation is going to be one of my new favorites. I feel like the application, the coverage, just everything looks so flawless and seamless. And I think this color is going to be perfect for me for the spring and summer. It's like a hint, maybe like a hint too dark right now, but it totally works once I have like the rest of my makeup on. I don't even know if you can tell on camera. Hey guys, so I just wanted to check in with you really quickly. I'm going on the 5-hour mark of wearing this foundation right now, so I wanted to check in with you guys before I take off my makeup for the night. Unfortunately, I won't be able to do the wear test for any longer just because it's a weekday. I need to get ready for work tomorrow. So this is what the foundation looks like. It's so interesting to see. Like, I was just looking at my face in the mirror. I don't know if you guys can tell on camera, but this half of my face is extremely oily, and this side looks so much better than the other half. So right now, like this right here whole area is so oily, and I feel like the foundation is almost just like sitting on top of my skin. Like right here on my nose, you can see the foundation has like smeared and is just like ready to wipe off. Like I can just by doing this, I mean like the foundation comes off on my fingers. And this is the half of the face that I did with mixing the primer and mixing the Sensual Skin Enhancer. So that's super interesting because this side of my face, it's a little bit oily, but honestly, like at the 5-hour mark, almost any foundation, I don't care if it's the most matte foundation out there, I will start to get a little bit oily in my T-zone. So honestly, I think this side looks beautiful. Like my bronzer, my blush, my highlight still in place. I am oily in the nose area, and like I said, a little bit in the T-zone, but not nearly as oily as this half of my face, which is super interesting. So I think definitely I need to use a mattifying primer in my T-zone when I'm using this foundation combination, and when I do use the Sensual Skin Enhancer, I'm definitely mixing it in with the Sensual Skin Primer because this half of my face looks flawless still. Like all down here, like everything looks great. It looks like I just applied it, and this side is just, it's looking like a hot mess. Like it's so oily through here. The good thing about this foundation is it's not clinging to any of my dry patches or enhancing any of that. The foundation's not really breaking up aside from this side where I used the primer and the Sensual Skin Enhancer separately. So overall, I'm so impressed with this half of my face. I think when I do wear this is going to be the combination that I use. I'm going to mix the primer with the foundation. Honestly, I think the application was better. It looked better even when I put it on my skin initially. And now after 5 hours of wear time, it looks much better than this half of my face. But my overall thoughts on both the primer and the Sensual Skin Enhancer, I am completely impressed by both of these. I absolutely love these products. These are definitely going to be rotated into my collection of foundations. So I highly recommend both of these products if you are in the market for a high-end primer or high-end foundation. I think they're definitely worth the price. I feel like both of these products a little bit goes such a long way. So honestly, I feel like that helps to offset the cost really because it's going to last me such a long time, especially the Sensual Skin Enhancer. It is like the most pigmented foundation I have ever tried, hands down. I know it is kind of like a concentrate product, but I feel like it will last such a long time. So that really kind of offsets the price for me personally. If you guys have any questions about any of these products, let me know down below and I'll be sure to answer that for you guys. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button on your way out so you can catch my next video. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.